Hello YouTube, Fuzzfinger here, and welcome to what is perhaps everybody's favourite dungeon. This is the Great Crystal in Final Fantasy XII, and congratulations if you detected the hint of sarcasm there. So this really is the Great Crystal, it's just not everybody's favourite dungeon. But over the next two episodes, I'm going to be taking you on a step-by-step walkthrough guide through this entire place, and you'll be able to collect all the treasures, defeat all the optional encounters, well at least know where they are. Whether you can defeat them or not, it's up to you. But some of you might have noticed that I have done a Great Crystal walkthrough in the past. However, it was a little bit hit and miss for some people because I'd already killed Ultima, so some of the gates were in a different position. For this one, I am starting from scratch. So as long as you've done the story quest content, which I have done, and you should have done if you're after the optional content because you can't get it on the first visit, then you should be at the same position that I'm in. So all the gates are shut, all the treasures are present, and I haven't actually been back here since doing the story. So we're starting from a clean slate for all the optional content. If the guide's helpful to you, please don't forget to leave a like and be subscribed to the YouTube channel, and let the frustration commence. Just to clarify then, this is going to be a step-by-step walkthrough of the Great Crystal, all of the optional areas. The only content I've completed here before this video is the story content. Everything should be in its default position, the gates should be closed, the bosses will be there, and the treasures will all be present. So I'm going to show you how to get to everything. Please follow this step-by-step carefully. It's very easy to get lost in this place, even with a guide. So make sure you save beforehand, and be prepared to get frustrated. But I'm going to wish you all the best of luck, guys, and let's get started with perhaps the worst and most frustrating dungeon ever to grace Final Fantasy. Let's go. So I'm starting off here in Guravagam at the first waystone that will bring us into the dungeon itself, and the first port of call is to leave the initial starting area, which is where the story quest content was undertook, and then we're going to make our way to the upper areas. Right, so the first thing first, we've got the Scorpio Gate ahead of us, and this is closed, as you can see. Okay, so we need to open this, and to do that we're going to head down the exit just to the right hand side. I might speed things up just on these paths because you can't really get lost on these. So just to bear in mind, to help you get your bearings a little bit as you're traversing through this area, when you enter a new room such as we have now, the last path you use to come into this area will still be lit up. So if there's multiple exits, you can see which way you came in by the actual path that still exists. Okay, so that will come in useful, trust me on that. But in this area there is no other exit, so we'll just go ahead and activate the Scorpio Gate stone. Each area as well will have a name. So this one here is Thana Scorpio. And you can actually navigate using those names, but I've never been able to do that, to tell you the truth. It's far too confusing. Right, and so now that we've activated the gate stone, we're going to head back to the previous area. And from here, we're going to head straight over to the right. So this is the area where we came in from. We're just going to head straight over to the right and head up. And if you've done that correctly, then you'll be at waystone number 9. Okay? And we're going to go ahead and activate waystone 9. And waystone 9 will take us to waystone 10 and to the upper levels of the Great Crystal, where everything gets confusing, complicated, everybody hates it. But hopefully with this guide you'll be able to get all the treasures and be happy. So let's just find out, shall we? So there's only one exit from this particular platform. We'll follow it. And we come to our most confusing room so far. So we've got a waystone in the middle, which is waystone 20. And we've got a couple of gate stones as well. Okay, so we're going to just ignore those for now because they're both locked. And we're going to head to the left of the path that we just came up. Okay, so this is the path we just came up. I'll just show you that. So we came up there, we're going to head to the left. Down the next available path. Or up the next available path, I should say. And the enemies will start coming. The enemies are very strong in this area. And I'm only in my 40s. So that's really the minimum that you want to be. But make sure you've got some powerful abilities such as Scathe things that are just going to hopefully take these guys down sooner rather than later. And I'd recommend using abilities that will allow you to tank with the character, such as Lure, Decoy, and some good healing as well. There's the first treasure anyway. And that's the Caldera, which is a two-handed bomb weapon, I think. Okay, it's not that great. But hey, we are going to be getting everything. Yeah. Okay, we're going back down the only path. And back down to Waystone number 20. And we can see that the gates are still shut. We haven't done anything with those. So we're going to head to the left of that first gate. Okay, so there's the path we came down. I just want to make sure this is clarified. We're going to head to this path here. Okay, hopefully you can see that. And into the next area. And this area is just a pass through, so I'm going to flee past these encounters. And into the next area. And we will have to kill these because this is the gate stone for those Scorpio gates. Now we're only going to be able to access one of those gates at a time, unfortunately. Hey, I survived. Great stuff. So you can see the switch, that's what we need to activate. Okay, and I'm just going to go down the opposite path than the one we came in. Although it's really just a big loop, this section. This will take us once again back to gate 20, but flee past the enemies because as you can see there is a gate timer. And we'll have to go back to that gate if we don't open it within the timer. And there are some tough enemies with the Reapers here, as you can see. So since we don't want to run out of time, what I would recommend is just opening Sagittarius gate number 1 even during the encounter, okay? So you can see they are labelled when you approach them. Just make sure that the one you're opening is the same as mine, which, as I said, is Sagittarius gate 1. And I'll try and take care of these enemies. Now I've got a pretty decent setup going here. So and if we're going to head up here, this should take us to Waystone number 11. By the way, I'm pretty sure in that last area that we were in, you can get a rare spawn called the Crystal Knight. Although I can't remember if that's part of the Hunt Club off the top of my head. I think it is, so that's why I didn't get to see it. Okay, but just to clarify that that's where it is. I haven't done the Hunt Club yet myself, which is why it didn't spawn. Okay, so we used the Waystone, and that should bring us then to Waystone number 13. So we're making good progress here, good progress. But now things get really confusing, okay? Mainly because there's just so many different areas available at this point. Right, so from Waystone 13, there's going to be 2 exits. One with a path going up, and one with a path going down. Now, you want to take the path that's going down, not up, okay? And the path that's going down will lead to some nasty Reaper type enemies, so just bear that in mind as well to be healed up before you do head down. And there's going to be some treasure chests, which is the reason we're coming down this particular path. There's going to be a few for us to grab, including quite a nice one on the next platform. So man, these Reapers are annoying. There's another one. Right, okay, so this one here contains a caliper, and then we're going to head down to the next area. I'm going to kill these, otherwise they'll still be here the next time we come back. And we might be going back into that previous area. The reason for that is this particular platform has a 25% chance of spawning the staff of the Magi. Okay, which is a really nice staff. It's one you are going to want to get. So if it doesn't spawn for you, it's only a one-time treasure, so once you've got it, you've got it. You can't get it multiple times, not from this treasure chest anyway. So once you've got it, just go ahead and you can leave this area now. If it hasn't spawned, as in this case, you just want to exit out and then head back down again. But I'm just going to kill these enemies. Okay, it can take a few attempts. I had to run in and out about 10 times for the chest to spawn, but you don't need any RNG manipulation for this one. And there's the beautiful Staff of the Magi. The one thing I will notice is that the enemies were relentless for me in this area. I got to a chain of about 70 before they actually stopped spawning at last, but eventually they will. So right, once we've gone ahead and got the staff, we're going to head back to the previous area here. And this was the area where we also looted an item, if you remember. So I'm just going to flee the battles, and we're going to head back to the previous waystone. Okay, so just to clarify, you should once again be at waystone 13. We're not actually going to go ahead and touch it. What we are going to do is take the only other path from it, and that should lead us to a Gemini gate switch. I've got a nice battle chain going anyway, which is helpful because obviously you get heals and buffs from the coins that drop. But no doubt it'll be broken soon. It normally is, which is my luck. Right, let's try and activate this gate stone while the enemies are all on us here. Okay, and from here there should be only one more exit. Yep, and it's just to the left of the path we came up. So we'll head up there. And this area that you're in now should be Sairu Jilam Pradi, or something along those lines anyway. Okay, and there's only one exit here, so we'll head through there. And there's going to be two exits, I believe now. Gemini 1, which is the one we're going to open, so even though there's enemies there, just try and go past those for the time being. You can kill them once you've opened the gate, but you don't want the timer to expire. Right, so there goes our chain, as I said. And if we head down, there should be some treasures in this area. Now, there's at least one. There can be two. But the rubber suit is guaranteed, okay? So that's the one that we're aiming for. The other treasure's just a random treasure. Nothing special. Oh boy, oh boy.
I can't.
Let's just run.
I can't.
And then we'll heal up. Okay, we're not actually going to worry about going back to open the second Gemini gate, and the reason for that is keeping it shut will actually help us keep our bearings a little bit easier later on. So we're just going to follow the path back here. Just check we got that right. Yep. So you don't want to go down the middle exit here, you want to go opposite from the one that we came out of. So we're basically heading back to the Gemini gate stone that we've already activated, so we can ignore it. So from here we'll just follow the linear path. Okay, there's the Gemini gate stone. And again we'll just follow the linear path, there's only one exit. And this will take us back to Waystone 13. And we're going to go ahead and use Waystone 13 to head back to Waystone number 11. We're going to come back to this area, but on the other side, you see. Because there's more treasures to grab on the other side. We could have opened Gemini gate number 2, you see, to access the next area. But I'm going to keep that shut. We're going to come around the other side instead, get the treasures on the other side, and then we'll be able to see when we enter one of the rooms where Gemini gate is shut still. We'll be able to identify the correct paths from there. So this is the best way to do it. So just to clarify, once you've used that waystone, you should be here at waystone number 11. And we're just going to head down the only exit in this area. which will take us to waystone number 20. And this is the area where we've got the Sagittarius Gate. So we've already done a Sagittarius Gate, which was number 1. This is going to be number 2. We're going to go past the first exit on the right and head down the second exit. So from the way we came in, there's the path. The gate's just ahead of us. We're taking the path just to the right hand side of that gate. Okay, it's a downwards path. And this is going to be that path that's a loop, if you remember. So we'll just come past the bombs and up. And here we are back at the gate switch. So once again, we'll go ahead and activate the Sagittarius Gate Stone, going down the opposite path from the one we just entered through. Well, it's more adjacent than opposite. Run past these lot, down the only other path, and back to the area where waystone 20 is located. So this time we're going to be activating Sagittarius Gate number 2. So that's over to the right hand side. There it is. And from here we're going to head on down. And this should take us to waystone 12. So we'll just check that. Yep, waystone 12, perfect. And waystone 12 should teleport us over to waystone number 14. Okay. And waystone 14, as you can see, has 2 paths that are basically opposite one another. Okay, so from waystone 14 we're going to go on the up path. It should be noted though that in this area you can actually get the Lava Eater rare mob to spawn. It's not exactly known for certain how you get it to spawn, but the most productive way that people tend to get to work is by getting a chain of about 50 or about 40 to 50 of the necrophobes. Okay, so that's the enemy we was killing before, and you can actually find them in this next area on the up path. It's not the main intention for us to come up this path, so don't think you can avoid these just because you don't care about that rare mob. But if you get a chain here of about 45 of these things, if you let them split you'll be able to keep the chain going. Then head back down to the gate stone and just zone in and out of this area and the area there with the gate stone that we just used in order to get the Lava Eater to spawn. So it might not have anything to do with the chain. Like I said, it's really not confirmed how it works. So we could literally just go back into that previous area and the Lava Eater could be there. You never know. But anyway, I'm just going to carry on at this point. So we'll just flee past these. There's the Leo Gate Stone here. So maybe we'll have to kill them. No, maybe not. Anyway, let's go ahead and activate the Leo Gate Stone. And then we're going to go down the other path here. And we're going to open the Leo Gate, number 1. And this is how we're going to get the Shalgar magic. When we can finally loot anyway, that is. There we go, Shalgar. Beautiful stuff. Okay, and there's nothing else to do here, so we're going to head back along the path that we came down. So these enemies, man, they're really annoying, aren't they? And this will take us back to the area with the Leo Gate Stone. And we're once again going to have to activate it. So yes, we'll touch it. Okay, and we're going to go down the other path. And this should take us back to waystone 14. And you can see we've got quite a big timer. Trust me, we're going to need that. Okay, this is waystone 14. I believe it pauses the timer as well when you actually touch these things. Yep, it does. So we're going to leave the gate, the waystone, head down the other path. And there should be some treasures in this particular area. So just to clarify the name of the area, it's Shiru Fulam Udi Prati, or something along those lines. So you can check that in your own game. We do need to be a little bit careful here because we've got the gate timer running out and we don't want it to expire because it's quite a journey back if we do mess up. So we get the Crown of Laurels, which is a guaranteed spawn here. And then head down the other path. Or head up the other path rather. And then once again, it's just going to be one path out of here. Yep, I was scared then. I thought there was two. I thought I was lost. But no, just head over to the right. There's just that one exit. And here there's going to be multiple exits, I believe. Yep. So we're going to take the leftmost exit. Okay, it's going to bring us up. And we're running out on that timer, which is really annoying when people start dying. Come on into the next area, please, Bosh. Okay, right then. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Forgot about the timer then for a moment. Oh, the stress of it all. Okay, here we're going to exit out of the only other exit on this platform. And this should take us to Leo Gatestone number 2 at last. Yay. So this is Gate Leo 2. Oh, I haven't got to worry about that long timer now. Oh, let's leave that guy. Right, so we're going to go back to the previous area. Okay, so just to clarify, we're back in Shiru Pisprati. And there should just be one exit here. So I'll try and get the heck out of here. Yep, and we're just going to go down the other path. And this will take us back to the area where there's 3 total exits, I'm sure you remember. And this time we're going to take the one on the furthest left. This is going to give us access to another nice item. So I'm going to ignore those enemies for now. It's one where we might have to keep running in and out though to get to spawn if it doesn't spawn immediately. Hey, looks like it's there. Mind you, there is actually another treasure chest that can spawn here. So the item that we're actually after is the Yagyu Dark Blade. And I'm guessing this trap could be nasty. Right, good bit of float magic. We'll sort that trap out. Get rid of that stupid map on the screen. Yep, there's the Yagyu Dark Blade. Okay, so as I say, there can be another treasure chest that spawns here. But for the purposes of this walkthrough, rather than going for the random treasures, we're going for the fixed treasures, and that's what we're after. I'll tell you about the other treasure chests. It's up to you whether you want to farm them then. They only spawn 5% of the time. Okay, now we're going to head back. Okay, so now we're back at the platform that has 3 exits. And we're going to take the immediate right exit. And we're going to take this up. And this will take us back to just a crossover platform with nothing but probably enemies. Yep, so we'll head over and down here, the opposite side. And we're back now to where we open the Leo 2 gate. Now remember I said we was going to leave the Gemini gate? Well, that's it. Okay, so we've ended up at the same place anyway, but with some extra treasure. But because there's 4 exits on this platform, it's nice to have a gate closed, just so when you end up back here, you know which orientation you're facing. And we're going to go ahead and ignore the Ashworm for now. And what we're going to do is just leg it straight opposite, okay? So the exit that's just to the left of the Gemini gate, opposite to where we are now. And that'll take us up. And then on this platform, it's just another crossover. So we'll head over to the right. And we finally get to another waystone. And this is waystone number 15. And waystone 15 will take us to waystone 16. Sorry, not 16, 17. I'm getting my Roman numerals confused. No, 16, yeah. It's only one letter I, so that's 16. but just in case you need any further clarification, it's Dar Vikarai Sairu.